Today is Throwback Thursday, so Morning Minutes in the Bible is a throwback to March of 1982 and an article in Plain Talk magazine. Jacob's God by Joe Fitch. Jacob knew God's name from childhood, but he did not see Jehovah as he is. Jacob's God, that is, his view of God, must be changed before the supplanter, Jacob, will ever become a ruler with God, Israel. Jacob's God was territorial. Jacob awakes from a dream in the desert and declares in surprise, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." That's in Genesis 28, verse 16 and following. He thought he left God at home, but Jehovah is not the God of the hills. 1 Kings 20, verse 23. He is the God of the Texas hills and the Colorado mountains, of the beaches of Florida and the frozen northland of Alaska, of America and China. What changes occur when men realize this? Men on a job assignment in a distant city will worship and serve just as they did at home. Soldiers on station in some remote country will study, pray, and live godly. Vacationers at an isolated resort will not forget decency and righteousness. All know they are yet in God's domain. Our God is Lord over the whole earth, and his eyes everywhere behold good and evil. Jacob's God was carnal. He tried to bargain with God and to bribe him. If God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. Genesis 28, verse 20. What audacity! What ignorance! Man thinks to barter with God, but negotiating only works if you have something the other party needs. And God is not dependent on man. He rather supplies all of man's needs. That's Acts 17, verse 25. Moreover, God will not be satisfied with a kickback, a tip, a tithe. He demands no less than all a man has and is. Romans 12:1. And about terms, they are non-negotiable. And God sets all the conditions. If you will, then shall ye be my people. No haggling. Let me be first to bury my father. Let me bid them farewell at home. Come down from the cross and we will believe. Show us a sign. But God's kingdom is not made of such horse traders. Unconditional surrender and unquestioning obedience is the only offer God has for us. Righteous and gracious is Jehovah who rules us. Jacob's God is weak. Thus, Jacob helps God by taking advantage of Esau in the pottage deal, by deceiving his blind father with a goat skin, and manipulating the cattle breeding. That's in Genesis chapter 25, verse 29 through chapter 30, verse 43. God needed no help, especially such dishonest tactics. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Genesis 18:14. Abraham had offered to adopt an heir, and Sarah had offered her handmaid to produce an heir, lest God's promise fail. God rejected the help and provided an heir as he had promised. God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, Ephesians 3:20. We cast aside worry and seek first God's kingdom and righteousness, Matthew 6:33, because we trust in his power to provide as he promised. In faith, we pray, expecting to receive, James 1, verses 5 and 6, and chapter 5:16. Jehovah is strong to deliver and is faithful to keep his promises. Is yours Jacob's God or Israel's God? Well, thank you, Joe, and thank all of you for watching. Come back tomorrow for another Morning Minutes in the Bible. Until then, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.